Hi, and welcome to another dose of virtual vitamin Z. This is DZS News for the week of March 1st, 2021. I'm your co-host, Stephen.
And I'm your co-host, Claire. As we move into National Reading Month, we wanted to feature a couple more books. Today I have The Curious Garden, which is one of my favorites. This is a story about a child who is exploring urban gardening and where plants grow in cityscapes.
And speaking of cityscapes, I have A Crash in the Night, which is a story of some children who hear a noise outside their window one night and use some scientific methods to explore it and learn how they can help the animal who caused that noise.
All right, let's jump into some Detroit Zoological Society updates. Stephen, what do we have this week?
Well, to get started, Claire, we wanted to give a big shout out to the Lincoln Park Police Department from Lincoln Park, Michigan. They organized a donation of 82 cell phones for our Gorillas on the Line campaign, which is just incredible. And so they are the first group featured in our Look Who Answered the Call series. So thank you so much. And as a reminder, Gorillas on the Line, the campaign is ongoing through September. So you still have plenty of time to collect cell phones yourself, as well as organize a collection drive at maybe a school or a business or another community organization.
Stephen, I was cleaning up over the weekend and I found not my last cell phone, but the cell phone before that. So I will be bringing that in here shortly to drop it off in the bin. So huge shout out to Lincoln Park Police Department. Well done. All right, let's move on to some Solaire habitat updates. Folks, we are nearing completion here. Just a few more finishing touches. There weren't huge differences from this week to last week, but our curator of reptiles, Jeff, have sent these pictures that he took in the morning before the sun came up, and it was just a really cool way to see the habitat with the lighting that's in the Holden Reptile Conservation Center. You can see we are just moving along here with planting in all of the different vegetation that will be in this space. And very soon we will be able to fill up that pool, put the finishing touches on with a layer of sand over most of that soil that's in there. And then Solaire will be able to move into his new digs and check it out. And we promise to bring you footage on that when it happens.
What I really like about these photographs is that they give a better sense of how this fits in with the whole Holden Reptile Conservation Center. So now I can really see, oh, this is where it is. And it's really exciting because, yeah, I think it's just going to have, it's had a tremendous impact on the field of that building.
Yeah, I mean, parts of it, the way they designed it, it looks like it's always been there. You wouldn't know that would used to be like a public pathway through it. So I think they did a phenomenal design job, both for the people who are going to be enjoying the habitat, for Solaire, who's going to be living in the habitat, for the animal care staff who need to care for Solaire. So a lot of things go into building a space like that. And I just think they did a great job, and we can't wait to share it out with everyone.
As we mentioned last week, membership cards are going digital. And so what this means is that as a member, you will receive an email from the DZS with a way for you to download your digital membership card. And at that point, all you'll need to visit the zoo is to show up with your phone, and you can pull up the digital membership card on your phone. And this is not only a way to, help it feel a little bit more convenient to visit the zoo, but also a step forward on our green journey, because every membership card, every physical membership card that we don't use is fewer resources that are being used unnecessarily. So really excited to get this going, and you should be getting those membership cards soon if you haven't already.
Yeah, I was up front this weekend. We were quite busy with the nice weather, and I was watching our members pulling out cards, pulling out papers with reservations. So this will be a great way to make the whole entry process much more streamlined and simple, and just more efficient. And again, not only are we saving the cards, we don't have to mail them out to people. I mean, there's just a whole bunch of green sustainable messaging that goes along here. And speaking of memberships, a reminder to all of our members or want to be soon members. Again, on weekends, we're open from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. just for all of you to make reservations and come on in and visit. The zoo's a great place to visit early in the morning. A lot of the animals are up, moving around. A lot of things are happening. So members and those who are thinking about it, morning hours on weekends are all for you. Stephen, back to you for Connecting with Nature.
All right, so this week we also have a double feature. We have Connecting with Nature first, and then Humane Resource of the Month.
This month's Connecting with Nature segment features an opportunity to connect with nature while staying indoors. By visiting the website zooniverse.org, you'll be able to access a wide range of citizen science projects in which you can participate right on your computer. To find nature-focused projects, click on Projects, then Nature. As you can see, these projects offer opportunities to learn about, connect with, and help animals and environments throughout the world. For example, by clicking on the Whale Chat project, you can connect with these incredible animals by listening to and identifying their vocalizations. To be sure, spending time outside is a great way to strengthen your senses of reverence, respect, and responsibility for animals and the environment. That said, zooniverse.org is another way to strengthen these attitudes while also helping nature.
And then this month, we also have the Humane Resource of the Month.
This month's Humane Resource is the Institute for Humane Education's website at humaneeducation.org. The Institute for Humane Education, or IHE, is another leader in the field of humane education, and its website offers a wide range of resources for humane educators. By clicking on the menu bar, you'll find a list of these resources. One resource is the Solutionary Hub, which has resources for teachers and others like lesson plans, issue guides, and even free ebooks like the Solutionary Guidebook and How to Be a Solutionary. Again, IHE is a leader in the field of humane education, and their website at humaneeducation.org is well worth a visit.
Thank you, Claire, for our featured story.
All right, so this week we are featuring Dusky Gopher frog breeding. We have Dusky Gopher frogs here in our care as an assurance population. So Dusky Gopher frogs down in Mississippi are extremely endangered. They've only been found in a couple small, very localized areas. So as an assurance population, several zoos and aquariums accredited by the Association of Zoos and Aquariums across the United States have gotten together and are breeding Dusky Gopher frogs in our care. And this allows us to make sure that this species isn't going to go extinct. When you have so few animals that are living out in the wild, any type of natural disaster or other occurrence could quickly wipe out an entire species. So these Dusky Gopher frogs are being bred behind the scenes in specialized areas here at the Detroit Zoo. And as the eggs are fertilized, they're going to turn into tadpoles. The tadpoles are going to grow up into frogs. And then for like the last several years, we are going to be able to send them down to Mississippi to safe areas for them to be released back into the wild in an attempt to reestablish a large enough population in the wild that they can then sustain themselves. So this is just part of the really important conservation work that the Detroit Zoological Society is doing, specifically within amphibians. So this is one of our flagship amphibian projects, and we are very excited to be participating in again this year and looking forward to great success in sending more frogs back down to Mississippi.
But it's just really great to be able to share this because I think that I know speaking for myself before I entered the zoo community, I didn't really have a full understanding of how zoos participated in conservation, not just on site, but also in the field. And it's really cool to be able to share this story that not everybody might otherwise know. And it just really highlights our efforts at saving wildlife through our conservation mission pillar.
Yeah, it speaks a lot to the expertise of our staff too. Our amphibian team, all of our life sciences staff and animal care teams are just phenomenally talented to be able to care for animals in this manner and help them on such a large scale. Stephen, what do we have this week for our education programs?
Well, this week on Monday, March 1st, as always, this is DZS News, episode 9.
By the way, Stephen, happy National Pig Day and happy first day of March.
Well, thank you. Happy National Pig Day and first day of March to you too. How do you celebrate National Pig Day?
Mostly by telling other people that it's National Pig Day.
Awesome. Very, very cool.
Tomorrow on March 2nd, we will be our Saving Wildlife series, and we're going to be focusing on one of our other conservation projects. It works mostly with children down in the Amazon rainforest in Peru, and that's our Adopt a School program. And you can tune in to learn a little bit more about how we are working with youth to ensure that they're going to be the next great stewards of the rainforest.
Then on March 3rd, Wednesday, it's a virtual habitat chat. This one's going to be interesting. It's about turkey vultures. And you may be saying, wait a sec. Turkey vultures are not animals who live in a habitat at the zoo. They're animals who are local to this environment. And it's going to be a really interesting story about how the Detroit Zoo provides this amazing green space that provides habitat for these animals. So definitely check that out.
On Thursday at 11 a.m., it's our Animal Welfare Tales series, and we'll be focusing on the thoroughbred horses who live in our care out near the barnyard here at the Detroit Zoo.
And then finally, Friday, March 5th, we are going to start the month-long series on National Reading Month with a book, The Salamander Room, which is going to be pretty fun.
Dr. Ruth, our director of the National Amphibian Conservation Center, is reading that one for us, so be sure to tune in and see that book. I keep saying that all these books are my favorites, but it's one of my favorites.
It's okay to have multiple favorite books. I think, yeah, you can have at least 5 favorites.
It's like animals. When people find out that you work at the zoo and they ask what your favorite animal is, and you start listing off like 16 different animals, I mean, you know.
It's all of the animals.
Just a reminder, the Belle Isle Nature Center has a lot of virtual learning experiences available on their website. Be sure to check them out for connecting to nature in your backyard, community, and neighborhood.
And if you're an educator or a parent, or even if you're just really interested in learning more about animals, be sure to also check out the Detroit Zoo's virtual learning labs by going to the Detroit Zoo's website, detroitzoo.org, clicking on the education tab, and then following the link for virtual learning labs. We have a lot of different offerings that will fit different age levels, skill levels, synchronous versus asynchronous. So definitely check those out if you haven't already. And Claire, one last thing before we do close, we did want to acknowledge one more viewer submission for our snow sculpture challenge. Debbie was unable to make a snow sculpture because the snow wouldn't pack, but she did highlight the inflatable snow person in her yard. And apparently she speaks snow person, and that snow person was saying, be sure to visit the Detroit Zoo this winter. So thank you, Debbie.
Thanks, Debbie. All right, friends, that's everything that we have for this week. Remember, stay healthy, Detroit, and we'll see you next Monday.